Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night, which means it's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We're also live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen and via TuneIn. If you want to contact the show, do so via social media, Facebook or twitter.com/ttgw radio. We have email, radio@widneswild.co.uk. We have the phone 01928 835 291 and text 07716 672 874. Start your message with TTGW or messages charged at your standard network rate. I hope you're all ready because it's time to go wild. A very warm welcome, everyone, to the Time to Go Wild radio show here on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. Yes, Monday's come around once again, and we're off and running with another show. A new week, a new couple to the team, and in couple in more ways than one. A very warm welcome to Carl and Stacey Bungay. Good evenning.
Hello.
Good evening. So, dipping your toes into the land of radio. Looking forward to it?
Definitely.
Slightly worried, but yeah. Show will be fine.
There's nothing to be worried about. I don't bounce off the walls in this studio on a Monday anyway. I bounce off the walls in any studio when it's a Thursday night. That's when it's musical mayhem. Not tonight, though. Tonight we talk ice hockey and everything Widnes wild, hopefully. Plenty to come. So, what have you been up to over the summer in the meantime?
We've been to quite a few of the rec games, actually. We've been helping out with the Raiders.
And Carl, you've been doing a little bit more than just watching, haven't you?
Yes, I've been training with the Manchester Mayhem sledge hockey when work allows.
Emphasis on the when work allows.
Yeah, that's the slight problem. Work gets in the way of real life. Work gets in the way of real life, and work gets in the way of hockey. Which comes higher? Hockey, real life, work.
Oh, I'm going
Definitely
for
hockey.
Everyone hopefully you lot out there in Radioland can agree there is real life and then there is hockey. And it's whichever way it works, hockey always ends up somehow coming to the top.
Yes,
strange, isn't it, that happens?
But still, that's the way of things. Now, I may as well play a little bit of this. Because the main thing that came out last week, other than a couple of midweek signings, was the fixture list, which we have in front of us. And despite a couple of little hiccups in the production of the fixture list, everything should be pretty much confirmed now. Two teams have released their face-off times for their games. The Bradford Bulldogs, for their home games, are at 5 p.m. according to their press release. And for the Altrincham Aces, they have two different face-off times. On a Sunday, it's 5:45, but their Saturday games are at 7:30 in the evening, so that's quite a late one. So we shall see what happens with that. Of course, your YKK, as he gets his teeth in for that one. Yes, your YKK Widnes Wild face-off is 5:30. So, guys, looking down that list, are there any particular tasty fixtures you're looking for? Double heads or anything that you can see? A couple of interesting ones I've spotted already, which is when we play D-side, they're effectively back-to-back games.
Yeah.
18th of November, 25th of November, and then the 24th and 31st of March.
I think we had a couple of Bradford ones as well, didn't we? Back-to-backs.
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday.
There's a Bradford back-to-back.
December.
On the same weekend, it's a double head.
15th
and 16th of December.
Yeah. Could be interesting weekend.
Yes, the Bulldogs are always an interesting team to play. You're never quite sure what you're going to get.
Bit of a bogey team last year for us.
Yes, the guys at Bradford put a really good team together, I must admit, and pulled off a few shocks with that one. And hats off to everybody at Bradford for doing that. You know, everything helps for whoever you play for.
Yeah.
So we shall cover a couple of other little things, because we had some happy news. and some sad news. We had good news and bad news.
We did.
On good news, our assistant coach Richard Charles is back, which is good for everybody. I think no one would disagree with having Rich back on the bench, would you?
No, and a lot of players seemed quite happy at that as well.
Yeah, that can only be a good thing for coming season, I think.
Oh, I mean, Rich has been with the Wild since day one. In his, where are we? Charles in Charge. No, I'm not going to play the theme to Charles in Charge, but I have been watching a certain medical sitcom. There's 4 guys that sing a cappella.
Yes.
You probably know the one I'm talking about.
I've been binge watching it.
So have
I.
And yeah, their rendition of that theme song actually gets stuck in your head. But yeah, it's with great delight that the YKK Widnes Wild announced the return of Richard Charles as assistant coach. Richard was one of the first signings for the Wild when they first formed. Has not been a formal part of the coaching team in recent seasons, but has remained involved with the club. But it's great to have him back. I think it's great to have him as involved in whatever capacity. I know he's been involved with the juniors in the past. But yeah, it's great. He's played for the likes of Dundee Tigers, Fife Flyers and the Blackburn Hawks. So yeah, he's a massive asset to have on board, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, he's and from good news to very, very sad news. And I think everyone involved with the Wild is shedding a tear over this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The number 26 shirt is going to be vacant. Very, very sadly. It's a massive thank you, but he said he's retiring. Pavel Valles? It's like, no!
Yeah, it was such a shame to hear that news.
Yeah.
I mean, vital goals last season for us. Vital player.
Yeah. There's not many skaters I've seen in the realms of ice hockey who can skate and play around the way he does.
I mean, my mum only started watching the Wild this season that we've just had, and even she was gutted when she heard.
Yeah.
Pav,
I remember sort of hearing the tale about him coming to try out for the Wild, and oh, okay, then let's see you play. He got on the ice and they're like, yeah, you're signed. I saw him skating. It's like, oh my goodness, this guy's good. He's the son of a good D-man. He can skate backwards as fast as he can skate forwards. And Pav, if you're listening and you do get a chance to come down, please don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger at all. We all love to see you. So. Yes, it is such a shame, but we thank Pav for all of his contributions and wish him well for whatever happens to him from here on in. But naturally, we don't want to be a stranger, do we?
No, we definitely don't want to be a stranger.
No. And then we have good news.
Yay!
And in a manner of speaking, probably one of the worst kept secrets of signings of the closed season, I think, is this one. Yeah, go on, who's back?
Mikey Gilbert, number 16.
Yes, very odd. We've just been waiting for this to happen. It was because, of course, Mikey's involved with our junior setup in the community program, and a massive part. I mean, just seeing his stats on the announcement page here: 26 plus 27 in 34 league games. 95 penalty minutes, but I think a few of them he'd like back, but. In terms of 26 plus 27 for over 34 games, that's a serious contribution.
I think it was pretty much a given, wasn't it? That he was as long as he wanted to come back, we'd have him back.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, big signing for us from the Altrincham Aces last year, and a massive part of that team. And their loss was definitely the Wild's gain. But, yes. So welcome back. But a little bit later on, you'll hear the music. That is the phrase that pays, that tells you we've got an announcement coming. Ooh. But in the meantime, I think we'll play a little music. And to make up for something I didn't do the other... Well, I started but had to finish, sadly.
Yeah.
I was playing a song on Thursday night, and ironically, this particular song, I've heard it for a fair few years at hockey. I didn't know who it was.
We couldn't believe it when we heard that.
I honestly didn't know who it was. He said, who is it? Because you only heard the first bit.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, you did only hear the intro.
Yeah.
And so it's usually used at a break in place. So, tonight, dear listener, I shall let my guests introduce this. What have we got?
I think, Carl, you can introduce this.
We have got Shipping Up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, there you go. I made up for the other day, a bit of Dropkick Murphys. Happy now, you two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. So, after that, I think it's time... Oh, hang on. It's sneaking in again. Oh, 7:15 on a Monday night. And as it's been said on social media, we've got 3 to announce. But who are they going to be? Well, we're going to announce one now, at least. I'm not going to announce them all in one go. That'd be cruel, wouldn't it? To announce them all in one go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cruel.
I've got to drag it out a bit. So, our first announcement this evening. Returnee.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Play two-way, forward and defence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
Play a bit more in defence over the last couple of years, I'd say he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely last season, I think.
He's been to America.
He has.
Played in America. Any other little clues we can throw out there?
He won a Most Improved Player. He won that award.
Any food-related clues?
He doesn't understand what a birm cake is.
Which is strange considering where he lives. Or, well, shall we go on? We may as well put everyone out of their misery.
Okay.
Come on,
So
Stacey.
it's a big welcome back to Bez Hughes.
So there you go. The number 20 shirt is up for grabs. Berin, welcome back. And we love to see his folks here. Oh, someone's trying to get through on the phone, it seems. If you're after us, you have to bear with us. So yes, there you go. Mr. Bez is back for another season. So, thoughts on Bez coming back?
Fantastic signing. Can't wait to see him back on the ice. He did so well for us last year, and like you say, he's a player that can both play forward and D, which covers any injuries.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after Bez won his Most Improved Player the season before last season, I think he'd really stepped it up.
I remember him going over to the States and coming back, and you could just see an extra bit of maturity in his game. And it'd be a shame to lose his folks as well.
It would.
They're as big a part of the team and as anyone. So yes, they would also be a loss. So we're getting 3 for the price of 1.
We are.
So yes,
And Stacey will still get her cupcakes off Sheila.
Well, she sneaks over to my 50-50 table with cakes when she comes in.
There you go. Well, there's a plug for things that happen on a wild night. Which one shall I play? Oh, we haven't really got anything to play to put under that. So, well, yes, guys, you're there on a match night in various capacities. So what sort of stuff do you get up to on match nights?
A bit of everything, to be honest. Mainly 50-50s for me. I try to keep Dave in check, but doesn't always work out for me.
And I do the other side. I do the door to let all the VIPs in. I do the barriers quite a bit for the players to protect both the players and the fans. I've done goal line judging, which is perhaps the hardest job in hockey.
Yeah. Yes, the concept of what is and isn't a shot on goal.
Yes, and would it have gone in had someone not got in the way of it?
Yeah.
It's really difficult when you have 10 bodies in front of goal.
Yes. That ironically at the sledge, the para. Well, I still call it sledge hockey. Matt, you'll have to drop us a message. Why did they change it from sledge hockey to para ice hockey? Because to me, sledge, I don't know. But we were at the Mayhem game the other week in Widnes, and were doing shots on goal for that. And we were doing them from the announcer's desk. Unfortunately, because we had a little bit of mist at times, we couldn't see one of the goals. So to keep clearing the glass. But from the front side, when there isn't a big pile up, it's not so bad. But when you're behind the goal and there's a big crush, well, was that on target or did it hit about 4 different players? What defines it? And a friend of mine did goal judging as well. He said, no, I hated it.
It's really hard, and it's also really difficult to keep an eye on the puck because obviously there's so many feet and skates and that in the way that you lose the puck quite a bit.
And the other challenge you've both taken up is having a look at our clock.
Yes.
Yeah, you've done one game, I think. I seem to have done
Yes, you've
the
done
rest.
about the rest of them.
Pretty much. There's only one that we didn't do.
Yeah.
We've been doing the clock for the Raiders games.
So, your love of hockey, of course, came from outside of Widnes, as did mine.
Yes,
it did. Yeah.
So where did you start?
Started with the Manchester Phoenix.
So, what drew you to it and what kept you there?
I've always liked hockey from a young age. I remember watching it back on TV when it was on at like 1 a.m. And then I kind of just got hooked on the speed of the sport. And I've always stayed with it. And at the Phoenix, it was such a welcoming environment that kind of once you've been once, you were just part of the crew and you just went every game.
I think for me it was just finding a sport that I could understand. Like I'm not good with football, I'm not good with rugby, I'm not going to lie and pretend I am. The only sport I understood before was netball because I played it in school. It's not really that popular when you think about it.
I've watched some of the netball actually on TV, and there's a couple of rules that are a bit, but it's each sport has its own quirks and hockey is one of them.
Yeah, I think it's probably the only sport I've really found that I could understand pretty quickly.
I think the one rule for me the important one to learn and the understanding of is the offside rule. I mean, the one when hockey first started for a lot of people, there was always the 2-line pass. Now, thankfully, that's been scrubbed away, so we don't have to worry about that one. But offside in the likes of rugby or football is always the ball going in front before the last defender and the first, the last attacker, and the ball's going forward and they've sort of got in front of the back line. Whereas in hockey it's a different rule, but it's actually simpler, I think.
It's much easier to understand and much easier to get the calls right as well, because there's no contention for the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
I'd say.
But there is one, and I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to see if you two can get it. I'll do it a little later on as part of a You Make the Call. And it's to do with offsides, and I'm warning the IHA here. I know you'd listen. I will be formulating my question about a stacked penalty call to you, so I'll be looking forward to Team Stripey's coming back later in the year. So, but the offside rule, and this one I've got for you is a query, and we can debate it a little later on. But there are times where offside is called and you can see players getting really frustrated. But 9 times out of 10, it's that trailing leg.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And I've actually seen it, you've probably seen it as well, because of a lot of the places where I've either stood or sat has been near the blue line. And I've actually, in one game, I actually saw the lino watching the blue line as this forwards skating along the blue line, watching the trailing leg, forward legs in the offensive zone, and the skate lifted Rizzler, wafer sin before the puck crossed offside and gone. Wasn't offside. Your skate had lifted. He's like, what? And that's the rule.
Yeah, if your skate is not in contact with the ice, you're offside.
So and oh yes, there's been many a contentious moment. Well, we're playing another song, and then we've got time for another announcement. And I think we're going to stay with rock, shall we? Do you fancy a bit more rock?
Yeah.
How about it's getting close to midnight? 2 minutes to be precise. is Iron Maiden. Oh, time to go Wild Radio Show on HCR 92.3 FM. Ooh. And that music's creeping in again. Time for another player, and hopefully, if the gremlins don't creep into the system, a little bonus. So, we have another returnee, don't we?
We do.
He's a stalwart of the Wild, been with us from the beginning.
Yeah.
He changed his number after his original number, if memory serves. But he's been his current number for quite a while. He always plays with a smile.
Yeah, I can't say anything other than that.
He's a member of the ginger contingent. And the bearded contingent, most of the time.
Yeah, fits both of those.
And definitely a favourite amongst the fans.
Yes, definitely a fan favourite.
There's no denying that one.
Yeah. Well, I could draw it out a bit more, but we better get onto the phone. Because hopefully we've got somebody on the phone. I'm not sure who. We'll find out in a minute. Go on, who is it?
It is number 9, King Kenny Armstrong.
He's back, yes. People have been wondering if Kenny's going to come back, and he is. Now, all being well, on the phone we have a person or two. Hello on the phone.
Hello. You alright?
Hi there. Let everyone know who you are, just to remind us all.
Go, Bradford.
Hiya, Mark.
Yeah, Mark. And it's Mikey Gilbert.
Hello, Mikey.
Hello, are you okay?
Yeah, it's fine. So, what got you on the phone? Was it just trying to get on the air and have a bit of airtime for a change?
Well, I personally had a bit of free time.
Oh.
Helping out over at Widnes, doing the kids coaching and the Wild Academy and so forth, and a couple of the more senior age groups. I was told to be here at 7 o'clock. No, Mikey, what time is the actual training session I'm meant to be here for?
Right, all day I've been thinking it's been Tuesday. I don't know why, but I thought it's been Tuesday. And the academy got on the ice at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. So I told Higson to get here at 7. It's actually a Monday, and it's Elks tonight at 9:45.
Wow.
Well done, Mikey.
Yeah. Yeah, cheers.
You can see what wonders we have with our backroom staff, because
And I'm trying to hold my tongue because it's a family radio station.
yeah. Well, you had a good time on the bench for the Raiders the other week, if I remember, Mark.
Well, I'm not one to shy away from anybody who's a bit confrontational. So, yeah. Last time I did that, I got suspended for 6 months, so I kind of took what the ref said and pleasantly left the game.
You were very polite, if I remember.
Yeah.
But, I mean, of course, for those of you who go back to season 1, and we mentioned it last year, of course, Mark was one of our original Wild players, and, of course, now playing for the Bradford Bulldogs. And as we said earlier, the Bulldogs have been a bit of an Achilles heel for a number of teams, including the Wild last year. I mean, credit where credit's due to what you've done over in Bradford. It's been a fantastic build for that team.
Yeah, well, the series ended 2-2. Good result from our point of view.
Yeah, they were pretty tough teams to play against last year, especially in those last 2 games. Got a lot of shots off, but they defended quite well, to be honest.
I think they had a rather good goaltender as well.
Yeah, he did. Is he back?
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Oh, no. We didn't want to hear that.
No,
ladies and
we've only
gentlemen.
announced one player, which is Dino, our captain.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been warned. A Pearson in goal for Bradford. Oh dear. We're going to have to be on our game. So, Mikey.
Hello.
Looking forward to being back officially now.
I am, yes. It's going to be a good season, I hope. Looking like a strong team.
But what about with the new girlfriend? Is she going to let you, your love interest, is she going to let you play your games away? You're going a bit red there, Mikey.
Oh dear.
Nothing official yet.
Oh, well. He's going to be a good boy this year, of course.
He's taken for, ladies. He's taken for.
Oh.
There'll be a few disappointed Wild fans, Mikey.
Oh, I hope so.
Especially the boys.
No.
Oh, well, you know. In terms of the Wild Academy, I mean, that had a good cross-ice little competition the other week.
Yeah, it was under 9s one. Did an under 11s last year, and then we did 9s on this year. It's looking it went well. The kids are looking like they're progressing a lot more, and this season we're actually having teams in the league this year. We've got 15s team registered and a 13s, and then the 9s as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's great to see the Wild Academy building from,
Still need to build up on a couple of numbers and a couple of the age groups, but we've got the teams there, ready to compete, just waiting for the fixtures.
Well, give us a plug for when the different junior events actually take place for the academy and the Learn to Skates and the likes.
Yeah, will do. The first course for juniors is on a Thursday. It's Hockey Excellence. It's 4 to 16-year-olds, 6:15 till 7:15. 6-week course. You can have a free taster session to start with if you email in with your name. We'll give you a free taster session, see how it is. And you do a 6 and a 5-week course for £66 and £56. Then after that, you'll move up the grades, join the Wild Academy, which is below 18s. Got all the age groups there. Then we'll build you up even more. Then after that, you'll have a stick with the Junior Academy, work your way up to the Wild, hopefully. Or if not, you go to Rec. We actually have our own Rec team, the Road Elks, which are training tonight, which is Higgles really early for.
Yeah.
Whose fault's that, Mikey?
Normal basics, senior basics, which is for adults who are just starting up, which during the season it's on Sundays now, but it'll be straight after the Widnes Wild games. So if you're one of the Wild fans and you want to try ice hockey out, it'll be straight after the Widnes Wild game. It's £8 on the door. Step on after it. Try your luck on the ice.
Oh, it's good to know about all these events, especially trying to get the kids involved. I mean, they come down, they watch the game, the next thing they're sort of like the parents thinking, "Oh, what are we going to do?" I mean, I take it there's ways for them to sort out kit without it sort of costing an arm and a leg as well.
Yeah. So at the minute, the club itself has started up like a second-hand kit agency sort of thing, where we get loads of donated kit from anyone around the rink or what have you. And then we'll sell it on. It's second-hand kit, so it's not like really.
It's a fraction of the cost of what it would be in those shops.
It's a fraction of the cost, and it's like a beginner sort of kit, just to get kids started up, and then they'll start slowly getting the proper kit, like the newer kit, which will protect them more. It'll be a lot better, obviously, but it's just to get them started, really, get them on the ball. I mean, and all the proceeds of the agency actually go straight back to the Wild Academy.
I mean, it is an expensive sport to start up, so
yeah.
I mean, it can often lay a lot of financial fears to rest doing things like that. So that's a really good incentive. Well, I suppose, what are you two currently up to? You said something about sticks at the moment.
Oh no, I'm in my office doing work, and he goes.
Sat around waiting, doing nothing.
Yeah,
I thought you were taping some sticks and sharpening some skates and the like. So
No, I've not been upgraded to that kind of position yet. No, I was taping my own stick, and I knew that you guys were going on the air tonight, so we thought we'd drop you a message, do the big announcement of Mikey's girlfriend in the...
Yeah, well, apologies for not answering the phone sooner, but we do have some technical logistics we have to work around.
I thought you might have known it was me and just not bother picking up. So.
Mark, I would never do that, trust me, I would never do that. You're more than welcome here on the show. And,
so now that, like I say, you've got your priorities all sorted out, and you've mentioned all the Wild influences and
of course
academies and training over at Widnes. Do you want to know about the Bradford boys?
Well, you can give us a quick couple of plug for the Bradford boys, because it's all about all the hockey in the country as well. So
yeah, that's it.
How's things going over in Bradford?
Well, they're going the same as they went last year. We're progressing on this season from last season, and if you keep your eyes on the Facebook account or the Twitter account or what other social media we've got these days, you'll see our new signings for this coming season, and hopefully we get a few more people behind us and looking to push us to the a playoff position.
Well, no doubt the Wild fans will be there en masse when we have the games against you guys at both places, so it's always a lively affair when the Wild go anywhere, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
Well, we better let you get back to preparing for your evening.
Cheers, you.
And
cheers, Colin.
You guys take care, and thanks for getting in touch, and we will be in touch again later on in the season.
No problem.
Cheers, okay, mate. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So there you go, Mark Higson and Mikey Gilbert for us. A little bit of an extra surprise. Wasn't the people I was planning to get on air, but a bonus after the fact. 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, definitely.
In the meantime, Kenny Armstrong. Back again, as we said. Nice to have him back.
Wouldn't really be Widnes without Kenny, though, would it?
And there's certain characters we can't seem to do without, and Kenny is definitely one of them. His mojo dipped the other year, but it's really come back. And occasionally, I'll say one thing. When he does get in front of goal and the puck gets to his stick, he's got very nice hands to just tip them away.
Yeah,
I mean, he might not get many, but when he gets them, they definitely count.
They do count, yeah. He makes them count.
So, yes. Before we go to another song, I'm going to play this one, because it's the You Make the Call music, and it's basically to come to the offside penalty we were discussing earlier. Right. The puck goes forwards into the zone. Then plays in the offensive zone. The puck comes back, goes onto the blue line, but doesn't cross it and then goes back in the zone. Is it offside or not?
No. It needs, in my eyes, it needs to fully cross the blue line, otherwise it's still in the offensive zone.
But when it goes in either direction?
Yes.
I think that is the rule.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think that came up on You Make the Call last year. Because I know sometimes that's one of the ones where you're saying about it being black and white, where there's times where I've thought, did it fully cross the line? I know it's one of these ones where, and I don't envy linesmen for this.
Oh, it must be one of the hardest jobs to try and do.
There's got to be so quick at spotting them. So that's a quick You Make the Call for this evening. And we've had a clarification through from Matt why sledge hockey was changed to para ice hockey, and it's for commercial reasons. So there we go.
Oh, okay.
So yes, that's all nicely been cleared up. And yeah, we'll run with a little bit of this. Because it's time to hit a bit of the old What's On guide, and we have a couple of things coming up. On Sunday the 12th, that was yesterday, your YKK Widnes Wild were in attendance at Halton Haven Hospice for an event. There was a selection of players, and our mascot Pucker the Penguin was there, and they were providing some events, taking care of a few matters, being a presence, of course, helping provide ways of raising funds for our chosen charity this year, which is the Halton Haven Hospice. So, and it looked like I've seen some of the photographs online. If you check out our social media pages, there's been some pictures put online from that event and looked really well attended. So thanks to all the people who got involved in that. Over the summer, the Planet Ice Widnes are currently offering a mega skate during the week. That's one big session running throughout the day from 10 a.m. till 5 or 6 p.m. depending upon which day. Check for actual details at the timings. But you can come and stay for as long as you like and pay one price. So mega skate is on at Planet Ice Widnes all during the weekdays between 10 a.m. till 5 or 6 p.m. depending upon the day. But check for details. And the other main event we've got coming up is the season ticket holder event on Thursday the 16th of August. Emails have been sent out to the season ticket holders, and it's a chance to pick up your season ticket, meet the team who'll be doing some of their practice and training session, and pick your seat. So, but that is for season ticket holders only on the Thursday 16th of August. And the details are with the season ticket holders as to the time of the event. So, if you do want a season pass and you want to come along to the event as well, make sure you put your application in before the event, please. So please put your request in before the event. In the meantime, we also have our usual little bit of our reminders. We have our website reminders, which of course has details of Learn to Play and the Junior Academy, and information about sponsors and for sponsorship options. Your own and loan shirts, which there's now 6 available, considering the other 48 have all gone. This must be an absolute record for your YKK Widnes world, the fact that the shirts are going thick and fast. So we've got another player to announce very shortly, and it will be very shortly. In fact, it'll be after these announcements. And it will be to announce our final player. So there will be another set of shirts going up onto the grid. And your game shirts are £80 and your warm-up shirts are £60. So check out the grid. Don't forget, through the website you can get access to the highlight packages, the podcast, and your season ticket and ticket information, of course. Game tickets £8 for adults, £5 for children. And your season pass covers 16 home games, £105 for adults, £60 for kids, which is the equivalent of just shy of 3 free games for your adult ticket and 4 free games, if my maths was correct, on the child ticket, based on a standard ticket price. That's assuming you go to all 16 games, and there's also opportunities to attend extra events, savings on the match night, of course, discount on wild merchandise, a reserved seat if you wish, and discount for away travel. And the details of the away travel will be announced as and when we get it. And then we have a discount on the end of season awards, and your season pass holders will be getting the option of going on the bus if you wish, and it will cost you £5 to away games, £6 for non-season ticket holders, and kids with a paying adult pay just £1. So yes, some good offers there, I think, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
That's hang on. No sooner do we finish one item, another one starts. I'm a little late with this one, so sorry, Matt. I know you want to get the press release out. So yes, it's our third and final signing of the evening. Now, this has been an important one for us for the last 2 seasons, I'd say.
Yeah, 2 seasons.
When I saw we'd first signed this player, it was a case of, this is good. And he's coming back again. People thought, maybe it won't. He was thinking, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But we'd miss his stats. He's fast. He's furious. He's a forward. Found out last season he can have a scrap when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Can.
What else can we say about this young lad? Well, I say young. He's one of the TransPennine contingent.
He is.
I suppose I better put everyone out of their misery. Go on then. What number is he and who is he? Go on, Stacey.
Well, it's one of my favourites. I was so happy he's coming back. It's Stuart Brittle.
Number 24, come in. Stewie Brittle, welcome back to the YKK Widnes War for another season. Oh, yes. So we have an Ollie and we have a Stewie. A lot. I can sense a lot of teams that go having shivers put down their back, going, "Oh no, here we go again." Yeah, that partnership that those two have is like watching autopilot. It's magic.
Yeah, the first line last year with them two on it, they didn't even need to look. They knew where each other were on the ice.
Well, they have. I mean, the two of them and Nick Manning, they've played together for so well that it's fantastic. And so, yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing Stu back on the ice. He's, as I called him, referred to him at playoffs when I finally got an interview with him, the lesser spotted, because he's a man of very few words. He's, managed to shy away from interviews, but nobody, where possible, was escaping me that day. I'll ask you to in just a second, because I've just had a message come through from one of our Widnes Wild Women players, Lean Derdecker, and she says, "Good show tonight. How about a shout out for the Wild Women?" And of course, a big shout out to the Wild Women. Fantastic bunch they are. They're waiting for their CrossFit session to start.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, they've been training a year now at CrossFit Widnes for their off ice conditioning every Monday. So yeah, if they can't listen in, I hope they're not getting too knackered. That was punishing. It's like spin class and the like.
No.
No, not for me.
A colleague of mine in work said she went to spin class for the very first time. She didn't realise just how knackering it was.
I did that a few months ago. I've not been back since. I'm still waking up to that.
So yes, right. I'm going to ask the question. Have you recovered from playoffs?
No.
No, I've still not recovered. And I put myself through it the other day by watching it again. And even though I knew the score, that semi-final, I was sitting there and it was just like being there all over again. I don't know why I put myself through it. It was the stupidest thing I think I could have done with a Saturday afternoon.
You know the result, but the nerves still creep in when we go 5-2 and 5-3 down. You're kind of like, oh no, it's happening.
It's like deja vu, but you can't. You want to fast forward through it, but you can't. I mean, I said it then.
I mean, I watched it firsthand the first time. You didn't. You were looking sort of through your. Well, I don't think you were even looking through your fingertips.
No,
I was looking
up for the penalties.
At the penalty shootout, and it's the first time I've done it. And I called one of my friends the hockey equivalent of a wuss because she used to hide beneath the boards. She used to man the sin bin. She used to hide below the boards whenever there was a penalty shootout. And I used to call her a big hockey version of a complete wuss. But I filmed them. I've said it before, but I had to. I looked at the wall and was praying. And honest, Wiggy says enough for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I still have to watch it again before the season starts.
Yes, I mean, and Sean Dipnall going 5-hole for that final penalty. We were all like, what is he doing?
The worst thing is I watched it again on that Saturday a few weeks ago, and I found myself going, you're going to miss that, Dippy. You're going to miss it. What were you thinking? I'd already seen it once. I knew what the outcome was.
Yeah. Yeah, there's penalty shootouts I've seen, and there's one I've watched, but I only actually saw it through the eyepiece of my very first camcorder, and I had a little tiny black and white video. There was a proper little screen inside it, and the only reason I knew we'd scored is because the crowd basically leapt off their feet and the roof nearly came off the rink, and I was just following the player, and then I watch it back, and it's not brilliant quality, but the look on Jeff Glower's face when he put the puck in was just more of relief. Well, on the subject of a Jeff Glower, it reminds me to bring up one or more of our little features. We want you to email them in or drop them in through Facebook, and we did get somebody last week dropped them in, and to be honest, that dream lineup of Tim Cranston, Tony Hand, Ken Priestley, Ron Shudder and Mike O'Connor. Actually, it's pretty much a Sheffield Steelers line of the glory days. But poor Ben Bounds in goal would be bored. There's nothing to get through. So we want you to send in your suggestions of lines and lineups. Lines, it's 5 players with a goaltender, and the outskating, the full team, it's 4 lines of forwards, 4 lines of defence, but you can have up to 3 goaltenders. And it's my own personal clause I put in for that because I had trouble. I had to include 2 goalies, and there's one I can't not include. So, suggestions in our last couple of minutes. Who sort of players would you pick for your sort of dream lines and lines? Just throw a few out there to get people in.
One I'd have to pick is Robin Corver, recently signed for Blackburn, I believe.
Ah, right.
But to see him on the ice was just something else. His vision and his skating.
I've seen Kovar play, and he's very good.
He is, yeah. I think for me, because of the Phoenix, I think I'd have to pick Steve Fohn, goalie.
BT.
Yeah.
I knew of BT during his junior days, and he is a quality goaltender. He is.
That, and he's just an all-round nice guy as well to talk to afterwards.
Goalies are unique, but there's certain people you'd meet in life and you wouldn't realise they're a goaltender. And one that does actually come to mind is our very own Tom McDonald. When you actually know what he does in his career and you see he's a goaltender, never mind a hockey player, you're a goaltender. But you do that at your day job? Okay. So, yes, a couple of others.
Another one I've got back from the days of watching Phoenix. It's actually one of our opponents, Andre Payet. Now, again, I don't know whether it was just against us, because I didn't see him in his other games, but he always seemed to bring his A game.
Oh, Andre Payet, a player you love to hate.
Yeah, everyone hates him, but
oh, yes.
He can skate, he
Yes.
can score, he can fight.
Yes, when he's not concussed.
Yep.
Andre, if you're listening, it's nothing personal, but yeah, I remember him from his days at the Newcastle Vipers, and they could be short-handed, power play, and he could draw players out of position, and next thing he's in front of goal banging the puck in. It's like, damn it.
You wonder how he got there at times.
Yeah, because there are times where he'd either just come straight off the bench, no one would see him and he's there, or he's somehow managed to make himself anonymous, which is remarkable for a player of his presence. And next thing he's banging a puck in, or it's like... So yeah, he's one of those players you do love to hate, Andre, because he can do that kind of thing to you. Yeah. Stace?
See, for me, I think I have to agree with Greg Ruxton. We were talking about Greg earlier. Some of the saves that Greg's made are quite spectacular.
Yeah. One of my favourites, and when I say favourites, it's probably one of the times that a goaltender keeping his nerve is the time he got crashed by D-side a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was in one of the videos I made, and there's glove and block are going places and helmets come off and they're piling on top of him, and his stick's flown somewhere else, and he somehow manages to pick himself up and not lose it and play the rest of the game out. I mean,
the mentality needed for that, not to just lose your cool.
Yeah, strength of mind is phenomenal. So, but yes, we'll be I'll be fishing the details back onto the Facebook page for Time to Go Wild. So please drop in your suggestions. You can start with just a line, and it's anyone who's played in British hockey. So it's not just the EIHA. It covers the historical leagues going right back. Put your line or your lineup together. The rules are on the Facebook page, because I don't want you picking all overseas players. But you can have all Brits. If you want all Brits, that's fine, but not all overseas players, please. Well, we're going to have a little short one to play out with. Unfortunately, we don't have time for all of it. I'd like to thank both of you for coming in this week.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Colin.
We'll have you back on another edition, of course, as part of the new team. In the meantime, I'd like to say I'll be back on Thursday for Musical Mayhem from 9. But from Time to Go Wild, it's time to sign off for another week, and we shall play out with another favourite of one of yours, shall we?
Yes.
What shall we have, Stacey?
Let's have a bit of Pat Benatar.
Yeah, and as the team's getting ready to go, it's all fired up. So from all of us, for another week from Time to Go Wild Radio, good night.
Good night.
Bye.